Egyptians are voting in the third and last day of the presidential election. Incumbent President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is seeking a second term. He's widely expected to win. His only challenger is Mousa Mousa, who is a known supporter of the president. Electoral officials have been calling on voters to come out in force to ensure a legitimate result. There have been concerns about voter numbers, but that's expected to improve today. Let's get you an update on that story now. I'm joined live from Cairo by CGTN's Adel Mahuri. Adel, what's the latest on the last day of voting? Do we have a clearer idea of the turnout?
According to the Egyptian National Election Authority, in the first 2 days there were around 20% turnout. That's 20% of about 60 million voters. It is expected that the number, of course, will increase by the third day. Will it match these numbers? It's still not, there isn't a clear indication about it. The turnout during the early hours have been quite low, and this has been the usual in early morning hours during the past 2 days. Later in the evening, it is expected that the number of the voters will increase, especially after a new announcement by the National Elections Authority this morning, which has stressed that there will be a £500 fine applied to those who miss the vote or who abstain from being voted. This is according to the Egyptian law. Now, £500 is about $30, which could, in a way, affect most Egyptians who are below the poverty line. We're talking about half the population here. This might be a trigger. It's still not clear if it will be or not, but it could be a trigger to push more to the ballot boxes. And this is how the government forces all in all are trying to move to encourage people to go and participate. By today at 9 p.m. local time, that's 19 GMT, the ballots will close and the voting will count, and the clear figure will be available later on through tonight and the early hours of Thursday.
All right, so you did tell us when voting counting, of course, should get underway, but talk to us more about when we can expect that announcement.
Well, as the counting starts, there will be quick updates on the numbers. They will be, of course, non-official numbers, as each main voting constituency will be collecting its ballots and the numbers of each ballot box independently. Now, after that, throughout the coming days until the April 2nd, this is where the official numbers are expected to be announced. So until these days, the National Elections Authority will be counting and verifying these numbers so that it will have a final and precise number. So the official announcement of the election results is scheduled to be held on April 2nd.
Adel, President Sisi is widely expected to win, but what are his priorities at this stage?
Number one is security. That remains a challenge. Before he began his leadership to the country, when he was defense minister in the interim or period between ousting the Muslim Brotherhood and selecting a new administration, he has made the threat of terrorism a priority and security around the country a priority. Now, throughout these 4 years, the challenge of maintaining security has become harder. The attacks from the militants have become harsher despite major preparations from the government and from the armed forces. Now, during the past couple of weeks, the Egyptian armed forces has launched its what it describes as the most successful campaign yet in combating terrorism in North Sinai. Since then, we haven't heard about major attacks. There have been just one attack 2 days before the election began in Alexandria, where the security manager of Alexandria City has been targeted and he escaped that assassination attempt. This was the most significant attack during or after the Army's Sinai 2018 operation, which is still ongoing. Beside that, economy will be another major threat because of the economic restructuring system of the subsidies and because of the devaluation of the Egyptian pound. inflation rates have become phenomenal, more than most Egyptians could sustain, and that has become a huge burden on most Egyptians. So how to ease this economic pressure, that's another challenge, and he just have 4 years to try to give Egyptians a significant impact in terms of giving them a better economical life.
All right, Adel Mahroui live for us in Cairo. Thank you, Adel.